Welcome to our channel. Today's story is not just a story, it's a reminder of something we all forget too easily. Nothing is impossible. Not when your heart is stubborn. Not when your dream burns louder than your excuses. Today, we bring you the emotional, powerful, and unforgettable journey of a poor boy who dared to dream of becoming a doctor. Not born with money. Not born with support. Not born with connections. He had nothing except one dream that refused to die. This is not just a story. This is a fight against destiny. And after this story, you may never say, "I can't" again. Part 1. The Boy Who Dreamed Quietly. My name is Daniel. I was born in a small village where people didn't talk about dreams. They talked about work, debts, and how to survive another month. My family was poor. My father worked wherever he could, construction sites, carrying cement, lifting steel, coming home every night with pain in his back and dust on his clothes. My mother cleaned houses and sold food when she could. We lived in a small, crowded room with one old fan and constant worry. Every day after school, I helped my parents. Sometimes I carried bricks with my father. Sometimes I helped my mother clean floors late into the night. I studied when I could, early mornings, late nights, anywhere there was light. I didn't have a desk. I studied on the floor. I didn't have new books. I borrowed old ones and copied pages by hand. Near my mother's workplace was a public hospital. That place changed me. I saw pain. I saw fear. I saw families praying quietly. And I saw doctors calm, focused, steady. People who didn't run away from suffering but stepped toward it. That's when the dream was born. I wanted to become a doctor. People said nothing. Some laughed. Some shook their heads. Medical school was expensive, competitive, impossible for someone like me. But I studied anyway. Not because I was confident, but because I was afraid of staying poor forever. Part 2. The years that almost broke me. The final year of high school was the hardest period of my life. During the day, I went to school. In the evening, I worked. At night, I studied for the university entrance exam. Some nights I slept 3 hours. Some nights, none at all. My eyes burned. My hands shook. But I kept going. There were days when I sat with my books and cried silently because my brain couldn't absorb anything anymore. There were nights when hunger distracted me more than noise. My friends went home to study peacefully. I went home to work again. One winter night, my body finally gave up before my will did. I collapsed at work, not because of a serious illness, but because exhaustion had reached its limit. Lack of sleep, lack of food, too much pressure. I woke up in a hospital bed, the same hospital I passed every day. The doctor said my body was exhausted. I lay there staring at the ceiling, asking myself one question: is this dream killing me? But as I lay there, weak and scared, I realized something. Giving up would not make life easier. It would only make all this suffering meaningless. So I rested, slowly, carefully. And when I stood up again, I returned to my books, not stronger, not smarter, but more determined. Months later, the exam result came. I got into medical school. Part 3. Becoming the doctor I once looked up to. Medical school was not the victory. It was another battlefield. Long lectures, endless exams, nights without sleep, subjects that felt impossible. Many times I wanted to quit. Many classmates quit. I thought about quitting too. I studied anatomy while others slept. I memorized terms on buses. I worked part-time to survive. I felt behind. I felt small. I felt afraid of being exposed as someone who didn't belong. But every time I entered the hospital for training, every time I wore my student badge, I remembered the boy who once stood outside these walls, dreaming quietly, and I told myself, just don't stop. Years passed, slowly, painfully, and then one day, I stood in a graduation hall wearing a white coat. My parents sat in the audience, hands shaking, eyes full of tears. When I received my medical degree, I didn't feel rich. I didn't feel famous. I felt free. Today, I work as a doctor. I treat patients who remind me of my parents. I speak gently because I know fear. I work carefully because I know pain. I don't see myself as special. I see myself as someone who refused to quit. Here is the truth, my friend. Talent helps, money helps, support helps, but the real power is a heart that refuses to give up, a mind that keeps trying, and a soul patient enough to wait. Nothing is impossible. Now go prove it.